how to hold myself accountable. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're talking about how to hold myself accountable, how you should hold yourself accountable. Again, here at Life on Your Terms, we make these videos so you can do exactly that. You can live a life on your terms. So I'm gonna go over different ways that I know of that you can hold yourself accountable, how I do it in my experience with accountability, and then why you should hold yourself accountable. Because there's very specific reasons and outcomes that you will gain from holding yourself accountable, and you should do so because they can be life-changing. So with that, different ways that I know of to hold yourself accountable. One strategy that I really like is to create a schedule for when you do things. For example, I've got a few buddies who religiously go to the gym at 5 in the morning, and they know every morning they're gonna get up, they're gonna eat the same breakfast, they're gonna drink some water, and they're gonna head straight to the gym. And that holds them accountable in the realm of fitness. They know that every day that time is blocked out only for the gym. And that works for anything. One thing I really like to do is reading. And with reading, I have a specific time every day that I read at. So with that, if you can create a schedule around the things you want to change, whether it's reading, fitness, whatever it may be that you want to hold yourself accountable in, create a time block where you do it at the same time every day. Your body will start to just know, okay, it's time to go to the gym, or okay, it's time to read. Whatever it may be, your body will start to get into that schedule and make it a lot easier to do the thing you want to do. So I find that very helpful to create kind of a time block for what you want to do. Another strategy that you can do to hold yourself accountable is use tools like planners, apps, and journaling. I really like the Apple Reminders app. If I have a one-off thing that I need to hold myself accountable on, the Apple Reminders is perfect. Maybe you want to start being more grateful every day. So what you could do is you could set an Apple reminder for 3 grateful things that I am today. And you could start writing those down then, and the Apple Reminders remind you every day. So that's a really good tool. Also, I love the Apple Notes app. I have a notes tab that just titled Success List. And in that, I just have all my things that I want to do for the day or kind of over the week. And then I'm able to access that, and it holds me accountable. It's kind of my dashboard for what I need to get done, or you could think of it that way. So those are some really good apps for me. Planners. My girlfriend actually loves to use her calendar. She writes out everything before the month, and then she can look at that. She knows exactly what she has, and that holds her accountable, and she likes to use that. Some people really like journaling about their experience and really getting into the details of what are they struggling with accountability or what they want to change. That can be very helpful too. Another strategy you can use is to celebrate progress with rewards, but also pair those with consequences. So if you have a goal you want to get to over a quarter, if you achieve that goal, you celebrate that with something and you write that out ahead of time. But if you don't achieve that goal, you have a consequence that you set yourself for you to understand that if you don't accomplish this goal, this is what happens. And it will create you avoiding that consequence. You want to accomplish that goal, but you also want the reward. So that can be very helpful too. Another thing that I really like is visual reminders. I like marker boards, things like that to hold yourself accountable. That can be helpful. But also, I have a client who actually just puts pictures above his desk. And those pictures give him visual reminders of the values he holds to hold himself accountable with those and to carry those into every endeavor he has. So those can be very helpful as well. That moves me to my second point of how I specifically handle accountability. And the way I think of it is my foundation is fitness. Fitness has taught me discipline, accountability, and I am able to lean into that. When I work out 6 days a week, it makes everything easier. I know that if I can go to the gym for an hour or an hour and a half, I can come home and read for 15 minutes, no problem. Or if I can go to the gym for an hour and really push my body, I can come home and set my time block for work and work for 4 hours. Whatever needs to be done becomes easier with fitness. That's what I found, at least. It increases my discipline and increases my accountability because I do it almost daily and I start to really enjoy it, and it's good for my mental health, physical health, stuff like that. So that really helps my accountability, what I found. So my foundation is completely fitness. Another tool that I really like to use is my bullet journal. And in fact, here is my bullet journal. This is from 2 years ago. where I set out 4 or 5 things I want to do for the month, and then I just lay them out, and every day I just track, did I or did I not do them? Below, I have things that I've learned from the month. What am I going to carry on into next month? And the bullet journal has been a extremely useful tool for me because it kind of tracks me day to day, and I can look back and see, how did I do this week or this day? And I find that helps me a lot. And then that moves me to my final thing with accountability is quarterly goals and objectives. Every 3 months or so, me and my girlfriend get together and we set quarterly objectives. What is our focus for these next 3 months and what do we want to accomplish? Now, with that accomplishes 4 steps. I like to think of quarterly objectives, you want to say them out loud, you want to write them down, you want to put a date next to them, and you want to send them or share them with someone. That'll increase your accountability on its own so much. I found when I use those 4 steps, again, say it, write it, date it, and send it. When I use those 4 steps, I find that I accomplish those goals much higher than other ones that are vague and things of that nature. So with that, with those quarterly objectives, those hold me accountable over 3 months or years, and my bullet journal holds me accountable to daily, and then my foundation of fitness helps me be accountable to start my day. So those are the ways I have found to hold myself accountable. Again, that's just my experience. Maybe you don't find those helpful, but I found them very helpful. So that moves me to my third point, why you should hold yourself accountable. There's life-changing outcomes to you holding yourself accountable. And I think there's 2 types of procrastination. There's school and work procrastination, and there's life procrastination. Now, what I mean by school and work procrastination is there is always deadlines at school and work. So you can delay until up to that deadline. You can do the night before. I'm sure we've all done papers the night before they're due, and they might be okay when we get them done. Right? So the same thing with work. You can delay until that deadline comes up, and then you have to do it, or there's clear consequences if you don't do those things. But then that moves me to life procrastination. What happens if you don't get in shape? What happens if you don't take the leap of faith and get the job you want? What happens if you don't do the things and hang out with your family that you've always wanted to? There's no deadline to those things until it's too late. So I think you got to hold yourself accountable and think that way, that if I don't do this, there will be life-changing outcomes that happen in the future. And if you feel like you want to hold yourself accountable, take our balance wheel in the description below. The balance wheel can help you look at what do you want to change and what do you want to hold yourself more accountable in. So with that, accountability just creates discipline, and it creates control within your life. A very disciplined and accountable person has full control of their life. They have full control of all areas. Of course, events can happen and things can come up, but they have more control because they have their life in order, because they've held themselves accountable. They've chosen their hard in a way, if that makes sense. And then finally, with accountability, you're just simply going to be more productive. You're going to be more confident. You're going to have more motivation, and you're going to have more momentum. You're not always going to be motivated, but you will be more motivated if you know that you do this every day at the same time. You're going to be ready to do it, and that's going to increase your discipline, increase your productivity, and increase your momentum. When you're really rolling, almost nothing can stop you, and that's how it feels when you're super accountable and you're super disciplined. So again, how to hold myself accountable. That's what we talked about today. Hopefully it's been helpful, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.